What's going on, guys? It's your boy Burrow77 here with my main man, Brad Thomas. Next up, we got Benfica versus Monaco. And so Monaco took a red card last game. Benfica got a gritty road win in France, who has been extremely tough this entire tournament. Shout out the French teams, not getting enough credit. You are on the road playing a Benfica team who, yes, has struggled this season, but has a little bit of the European pedigree, whereas Monaco, not so much. I think the numbers are pretty good here on Benfica at minus 120. I like them at home. I don't know if they scored two. I think minus 150 is pretty heavy juice. I think the over, look, I think that Monaco can score here. I really do. I think they had an unfortunate, I think it was a double yellow for a red, or maybe it was a straight red. I can't remember off top, but I don't know. I think it's going to be tough to score two here. What I'm really looking for here is player props. I don't hate getting involved with Benfica on the money line, but player props is definitely where I see a lot of value in this game.
Yeah, this game, this number is going to take off. Like, I think the over is going to close at minus 210. First match they played against Chile was like, I'm spitballing off top, man, 2-3 or 2-4 or something like that, Champions League. Then they play this 1-0 kind of like stinker that was heavily weighted by a red card in like the 50th minute. I don't even know why that dude was playing, right? Like, dude had only allotted like 50 minutes in Ligue 1 all season. I like the over again here. I just feel like Monaco's the kind of team that you want to be down on aggregate if you're a total better, because first of all, they can't defend to save their lives. Second of all, they have no fight, no quit in them, right? So if they're down 1 or down 2 on aggregate, they're fighting. Well, same goes for Benfica, especially in Portugal. I'm not going to recommend this bet because I think the number is actually destroyed now, and I'm just going to check real quick. That's minus 120. I went over 3 in this game. I think that we see the 3 goals, a chance to see 4. This is probably one of the more exciting games, and I'm not going to just say some stat that's made up, but from what I've noticed, a lot of legs that are low scoring in the first leg
tend to be high scoring.
Have a very high tendency of being high scoring in the second leg, especially with 2 teams that fill it up, 2 teams that can score, and 2 teams that can concede as well. Benfica play with this kind of like weird bravado where when they play, they're not going to sit in a match and be like sit deep and defend a lead. That's not how they play, right? Bruno Lage is not that kind of manager. He's the kind of manager that plays his game because I think he would rather just remain on the front foot or at least be quick to the ball, because he'd rather lose playing their way than die by just conceding up a ton of shots. And I think that is a reason why you always want to see the over in their games. Not why you want to see them, but why the over's never dead in Benfica matches. So I went with over 3.
Yeah, I like that. I like over 3 with a push for 3. Minus 120, still a playable number in my book. What I want to get to here is obviously player props. Pavladas is on an absolute tear. And despite Benfica being at home, you can still get a nice number on his anytime goal scorer. He's had a hat trick versus Barcelona in a very sloppy track, where it was 4-5, something like that. Got the lone goal in the red card match in the reverse fixture. He's the guy that you're going to want to depend on here. Pavladas at plus 155 for an anytime goal looks really, really good to me. Ben Seeger has been playing really well for Monaco. I'm a fan of Mbolo. I think that he plays really well. I like him for, the Swiss national team?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Switzerland.
Yep. He's big. What's his name? Oh, I'm gonna butcher it. Beerth, number 14 here, the other striker from Monaco, perfectly capable of filling it up. Akalucci, the right wing here. Akalush. We know he
Yeah.
likes to jack up shots as well. So I think there's a lot of value on Monaco guys just to hit the rectangle once. The other thing I mention every single time in Champions League, especially in elimination game, and I know you didn't get it last game, but Otamendi for a card is always worth a look. He's old. He's Portuguese as fuck. He's a very quality veteran who knows what it takes to win. He's gonna make professional fouls when he needs to. He's not afraid of getting booked. If they do advance and they play in the next round, he's not gonna be super thrilled about missing, the home match, but he knows that that's the match you kind of rather miss than the elimination leg on the road when you need him in a do or die situation. He's also a giant target on set pieces. I think he had 3 shots last game. Granted, they got a red card and it was just get some volume, get shots on net until you see a goal fall. But Otamendi's always involved in set pieces, and him to take a shot at basically even money, I'm going to play it every single time, especially at the Champions League level.
Yeah, I haven't quite decided exactly what I'm going to do. I know for sure I'm going to be on Akalush over 2.5 shots. He's not their leading shot taker, right? That's Ben Seguir, but Akalush is the young. I think we have to stop calling him the young firecracker. Dude's like 22 years old. Like you say that for guys who are like 19, but he's the young guy who always breathes the life in their team, and he's plus money to take 3 shots. Benfica aren't going to give up a ton of shots early in this match, but as long as Monaco are down on aggregate, they're going to have to start trying. I know for sure I'm going to take him. I might just take both Ben Seguir and Akalush for 3 each and hope that one of them, if not both of them, hits, because he's like plus 127. The only reason I didn't for sure take Seguir is because he had been battling injury, and he got worked back in or whatever, but for some reason he logged a full game up a man in a game where they played 7-1 right before he's really needed. That just doesn't sit right with me. Like, I don't ever wish injuries on anyone, Oaks. But if there were to be an injury candidate, it's him, right?
Yeah.
Getting worked back in, and then the match before you have a midweek clash, a high stakes midweek clash, you go out and log 90 plus minutes. Doesn't make sense to me. So if it would be first half shots, I'd take his first half shots, but I'm really afraid that they're going to yank him at the 60, or, he just wears himself down.
Yeah, I completely understand that, and that's not wishing an injury on anybody.
Yeah.
That's being smart with your money and knowing the situation and knowing obviously the game management load here. I agree with you. I don't know why you play a guy fresh off an injury for 90 in a match where you're just completely dominating a team over the weekend, but I'm not going to take too much time to analyze what Monaco was thinking there. I just, he is a volume guy. He's a guy who's going to let go from anywhere too. If he thinks that he can see the back of the net, and I like that. I like unlimited confidence out of a guy who I'm going to take for 3 shots, a guy who's not going to let block shots bother him, a guy who knows that if he creates space, you take the space. You don't create space and then not take it. That's a waste of energy. That's bad football, especially in my opinion. Don't create space if you're not going to take it. Exactly. I also like Mbolo, especially on the road here in Portugal, where we know these guys can defend. They'll have the crowd behind them. Mbolo's a guy who's a big body. He's got wide shoulders. He can post you up. He can play back to goal. He can get the grimy shit. He can get the rebounds in front of the net. So I do like Mbolo for some of that greasy stuff in front of the net as well. And I will continue to say it until it hits or until Benfica's out of the tournament. If I see Angel Di Maria in here, he has a chance to tie Ronaldo's record with a single assist. I'm going to play his assist anytime I see him in the starting 11. I don't have a sportsbook that lets me play live assist props, but I don't care really what the number is as long as it's like plus 150 to plus 200 or better. I'm going to take Di Maria anytime he's on the pitch for an assist. I know he's dealing with some injury stuff. He is getting long in the tooth. Obviously, he's chasing down a Ronaldo record. That means you've been in Champions League a lot in your life, just to even be in that conversation. But when he is on the pitch, he's going to take almost all of their corners and a majority of their free kicks. So, yeah, I'm going to take his assist if he's in the 11. And like I mentioned, probably one of my favorite bets here, Otamendi, just to take a single shot at basically even money. Pavlidis for an anytime goal. And I will be taking Otamendi for a booking in an elimination game. It's just what he does. He's very, very good. He's a very capable professional center back that, even though he is starting to get up there in age, he knows what it takes to win at the highest level. He knows how to get a yellow card when needed, and make a professional foul, not turn into a red card kind of deal. So give me him. And I bet my cards over on BetUS because we do not get card props here in Michigan. So I use BetUS, where you can also find Brad doing the Champions League show. It'll happen after we're recording this, but it'll go live before this recording comes out. So be sure, tune in, check out Brad and Flash, who I do a show with as well, on BetUS. Next up, we're going to have Dortmund versus Sporting, and we will catch you all in just a few. We outside!